God's faithful provision is a concept deeply rooted in many religious traditions, particularly in Christianity. It refers to the belief that God, as a benevolent and omnipotent being, provides for the needs of his followers in various ways, demonstrating his care, love, and faithfulness. This provision is often seen as encompassing not just material needs like food, shelter, and clothing, but also spiritual, emotional, and relational needs. It's about trusting in God's guidance and believing that he will supply everything necessary for a fulfilling life. The exploration of God's faithful provision can take many forms, including scriptural examination. Many believers turn to religious texts such as the Bible to understand the promises and examples of God's provision. Passages like Matthew 6:25-34, which talks about not worrying about material needs because God provides, are often referenced. Personal testimonies. People often share stories of how they've experienced God's provision in their own lives. These testimonies can range from miraculous interventions to subtle instances where needs were unexpectedly met. Prayer and faith. Believers engage in prayer as a means of communicating with God and expressing their trust in his provision. Through prayer, they seek guidance, ask for their needs to be met, and express gratitude for what they've received. Community support. The concept of God's provision extends to the idea that believers are called to support one another. This can manifest in various forms, such as providing assistance to those in need, offering emotional support, or simply being present for each other in times of difficulty. Stewardship. Recognizing God's provision often leads to a sense of stewardship, where believers are called to responsibly manage the resources they've been given. This includes not only material possessions but also talents, time, and relationships. Faith in adversity. Exploring God's provision also involves grappling with questions of suffering and adversity. Believers may wrestle with why some prayers seem unanswered or why bad things happen despite trusting in God's provision. God's faithful provision is a deeply personal and communal journey for many believers, encompassing both faith and practical action in response to their understanding of God's care for them.